Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Marvel Monday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Marvel Legends series, Marvel Knights, Mindless One Build-A-Figure Waves, Blade. Let's get into it! Let's begin our day-walking adventures with a look at the packaging. And here we have on the top flap, Build-A-Figure, Mindless One, assortment number 4 and up. Warning! Don't stick things in your pie hole that do not belong there. And then, I guess that's Blade's logo. I've never seen that before. Legend series. Of course, I'm not a big old Blade dude. Nice big window showcasing the figure accessories and Build-A-Figure part. Marvel Knights. Marvel's Blade Hasbro print on the bottom, small print, fine print, legalese print, made in China print, symbols I'm not going to learn, and a barcode. And on this side we have some nice artwork of Blade being broody and day walking. And same artwork on this side. And on the back, same artwork, only much more of it. Marvel Legends series, Marvel's Blade, destined to hunt vampires and destroy the evil of the world. Blade is a vampire-human hybrid with the greatest strengths of each. There it is again in some other languages. Build-A-Figure, Mindless One. Here's the completed Build-A-Figure with numbers on it, corresponding to which piece comes with which figure in the wave. And here's the cross sale. Midnight Suns Iron Man, Marvel Knights Blade, Marvel Knights Lady Bullseye, Marvel Knights Luke Cage, Marvel Knights Fist Ninja, Marvel Knights Clea, and Marvel Knights Daredevil. Each sold separately, subject to availability. Attention! Don't stick things in your French pie hole that don't belong there. Warning, attention, Octung! Don't stick things in any other language pie hole that do not belong there. Don't! Give it to babies. Marvel print, small fine, legalese, made in China print, and Hasbro print. And that, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And here we have handy dandy tweezers, but we won't, well, we go ahead and start using them, even on the Build-A-Figure piece. And here we have the Mindless One's head. I will have to say it does have nice molded details in there, molded in color, and I'm sure this piece is, well, it looks like there's a big red piece, and then this piece is glued on to the outside of it. So all molded in color, which is fine. And then here is the optic piece. And when we cover the Build-A-Figure, we'll take a closer look at all of that. Now let's take a look at Blade's accessories. And first of all, he does come with a set of alternate hands on in and out hinges, C-grips. Nice molded details there. And there is 2 of those, left and right. Then we have 2 wooden stakes, because what's a vampire slayer or hunter, killer, destroyer of the undead without some wooden stakes? There's 2 of those. They don't have a whole lot of detail to them. There's a little bit of lineage on them just to give it a bit of a wooden look, but not too much. A slight wash might help those details stand out, but then again, it might not either. And he also comes with 2 of the glaives. Looks like they're molded in this gunmetal plastic, and then the handle is a paint app. Not a whole lot of details, but enough details that it gets across what it is. I have to say, they're pretty nice looking. And of course, we have his sword. And I'm pretty sure we've seen this before. I think we've even seen this in the wave before. I think the Fist Ninja has a matching sword to this, and then it's molded in this color, and this handle appears to be a paint app. And again, not a whole lot of, you know, the detail is all in the handle really, and it's okay. It's not the greatest, it's not bad, but it is what it is, I believe. Now let's take a look at the figure himself, and wow, he is definitely going full on vamp in that head sculpt. And I have to say, it's really nice. And even though it's not supposed to, for me at least, it does kind of take me to that Wesley Snipes look for the movie. And I mean, that may be what this is sort of based on. I think his comic appearances were kind of based on that after the movie. I never did read a lot of Blade, but or even a lot of stuff with Blade in it. And I wasn't even aware he was a Marvel character until the movie came out with Wesley Snipes. But overall, I have to say the sculpt is pretty nice. Lots of details. And you can see it's got details there in the flak jacket or vest or armor. So that's pretty nice looking. Paint app here for the belt, and maybe on the forearms, and that seems to be about it for the paint apps. Most of them are up here in the face, and I think it's probably the hair, the sunglasses, the teeth, and the goatee. Let's take a look at his articulation. He looks up that far, and he's on that classic ball and hinge. Down that far. He's got a little chicken neck in there. He's got a little waggle. He can do the full Exorcist at the shoulders. Yeah, no butterfly in there. I wished it was some butterfly in there, but it's not. If wishes were horses, we'd all be flying. But he can do full 360-degree rotation. There is a cut here at the upper bicep for another 360-degree rotation. Now, that's as far as I can get his arms to go down. And up. It's kind of stiff. And it looks like that's about it. So there's not a lot of range of motion there at the shoulder. But I've seen some things where they've modified the jacket. I may even replace this jacket, I'm not sure. So anyway, on to the elbow. Double hinged, pinned elbow. Gives you that much bend. At the wrist, 360-degree rotation on in and out hinge, and in and out hinge on the other side as well, and they're both fists. He does have ab crunch hinge in the torso, and with the jacket on, it allows him to bend back that far and forward that far. So not bad, but not super great either. Cut here at the waist. At the hips, he gives you that much of the splits. He kicks forward that far, is approximately 90 degrees, and back about 2 steps, it looks like, maybe 2.5. Cut here at the upper thigh for a full 360-degree rotation. Double hinged pinless knee. And I don't know if you guys have watched past reviews, you know how I feel about the mixed matched joints. So anyway, not too bad on the range of motion there. about the mid shin, there is another cut, a boot cut, if you will. Give you 360 degrees at the ankle, tilts down that far, tilts up that far, and forward facing pin for rocker. Now, as far as weapon storage, he only has this sheath on his back to which the sword fits in, and it stays in there pretty well due to friction. And that, my friends, is a look at the figure who's not Wesley Snipes and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Marvel Legends series Mindless One Build-A-Figure Blade with the Marvel Legends Toy Biz movie Wesley Snipes Blade, and the Walmart exclusive Marvel Legends series classic Doctor Strange. For our final set of comparisons, here we have the Marvel Legends series Mindless One Build-A-Figure Waves Blade, with our last Marvel Legends series comparison making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee from G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander from Star Wars The Black Series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper, and for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the Marvel Legends series Mindless One Build-A-Figure Waves Blade, the Vampire Hunter. Or is he the Vampire Slayer? No, that's Buffy. Anyway, I'm glad to get a version of Blade in my collection. I haven't had a Blade in my collection since, or I haven't had a new Blade in my collection since Toy Biz's original movie offering in the Marvel Legends line. And I have to say, that was a pretty good, darn good figure, and the likeness on it was pretty spot on from what I remember. And I'm filming this section before I do the comparisons, so hopefully I'll be able to get my hands on wherever I put that one and put him in the comparisons and see if it lives up to my memory of it. But you know, the modern versions of Blade are very much inspired by those Wesley Snipes films, and you know, that may be for the better, I don't know. Blade, the Wesley Snipes films were actually my first real experience with Blade as a character. I never really read anything as a kid that had Blade in it. And maybe that was okay, because that put me in the mindset that, you know, that was the version of Blade. But maybe it's not, I don't know. I haven't really, even as an adult, I hadn't read a lot of the older stuff with Blade in it. But as far as this figure goes, no, from the waist down, it's not a bad figure. From the waist up, I do like the sculpt. The arms do have a bit of articulation issues at the shoulder joints, and I think that's mostly due to the overlay of the coat. That plastic just... I'm probably going to have to replace that and get a wired coat to go with it if I'm able to. I'll have to see how that sword sheath is attached and what I can do with that. But I mean, overall, it's a nice looking figure. I just wish that the arms worked a little better. The articulation from the waist down is great. The arms aren't that great. The sculpt is fantastic. I do like that. And I do wish, though, that he had come with an alternate head with a more neutral expression on it. I understand, you know, Blade is an angry daywalking dude, but you know, he's not going to be screaming all the time. So a neutral head sculpt for this one would have been nice. But, you know, comparing to Marvel Legends, he does come with a lot of accessories. 2 glaives, 2 stakes, an extra set of hands, and a sword. So it's a little bit of a trade-off. You know, we could have only got 1 glaive, 1 stake, and 1 extra hand. I don't know. In order to get that alternate head sculpt. But, you know, 6 of one, half a dozen the other, I guess. Why does he need 2 glaives? I don't know. Why does he need 2 stakes? I don't know. Because they didn't feel like sculpting the head. I don't know. That's just me spitting in the wind. But I do have to say, I am glad to finally have a new Blade in my collection, even though he might not be the best Blade ever, but I like it. And for what it's got to do, you know, basically stand on the shelf, maybe a few pictures with it. I will just have to see how I can manipulate him with the articulation that he does have, and, you know, just see how that goes. Well, that does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for viewing my content. If you would like to support my content further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button and see if any membership offerings are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more reviews or just help the channel out further, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.